I always forget to record. So, okay. Thanks, girlfriend. I'm recording. So the whole thing is about to stop worrying about what you have to do, like what you should be doing, so that you can focus on what you actually need to do. And then once you get done what you need to get done, you can do what you want to do. You can have that free time. You can have that personal time. You can have that time with family after you get done everything that you need to get done. So the first thing, before I kind of get into the main point of it, the first thing is really just kind of like a mental decluttering. And this is kind of like when we do our brain dumps and we write down everything down on a piece of paper that we have to get done. But more than that, it's about saving your time and your energy and your money and your focus for things that you need to do and getting rid of everything else. And sometimes that's really hard for people. I feel like sometimes people really can't figure out, what do I need to do? And what do I just want to do? And what am I doing just because I'm filling the gaps of my time? And it's funny, my parents are here and I was just saying, I've had a basket of laundry. I'm sure this is relatable, but I did my laundry today. Deborah's like, I did my laundry 2 days ago and I washed it and I dried it and it's been sitting in my basket for 2 days. And some people might call that lazy or procrastinating. I just call it's not on my like must to do list. I have other things that are so much higher on my priority list than folding my laundry. God forbid I have to put it through the dryer to get out all the wrinkles, whatever. I'll do that next week. But I think that the issue is that a lot of people get done these small tasks because they're easy and they're there. And then at the end of the day, has anybody ever had a day, put it in chat, just say yes. Have you ever had a day where you feel like you did so much? You're like, I got so much done today, but you're like, but what did I even do? You know, it's like you're exhausted. You're like, oh my God, what a day. I did so much. And you're like, but like, I didn't even do anything today. And it's because we're doing so many things that are just so low on a priority list that we're just kind of filling our space with busyness. And we feel super busy and we feel like we don't have time and we feel like we can never get anything done. And it's because we don't know how to prioritize. So that's really why I wanted to run this. It's really about organizing everything in your life and getting things done that you have to get done, y'all. So one of the main things, and again, I'm going to reference the book, but one of the main things in the book that she talks about is these 3 things, and write this down. It's a strategy, it's focus, and then it's commitment. Strategy, focus, commitment. Every single thing that you do, whether it's business related or not, there should be a strategy to it. There should be focus and there should be commitment. So your strategy is your plan of action. You have this goal in mind. I want to save this amount of money. I want to quit my job. I want to get to this rank in money. I want to move to a different city or state, whatever it is that you want to achieve, there has to be some sort of a strategy. Your strategy is action that's designed to achieve your goal. So for example, let's say that you do want to quit your job because you hate it. I hated my job before and I definitely wanted to quit. And I know a lot of people love their jobs. This is just an example, but you can't just get a new one. Like you have to research, you have to put together a resume, you have to apply, you have to go and interview, maybe you have to buy new clothes. Like there has to be a strategy in order to achieve that goal of quitting your job and finding a new one. So strategy is always the first thing when it comes to getting a goal done and crossing things off of your to-do list. It's a small, manageable chunk. And I talked about this today on my Instagram story. I feel like a lot of us hold ourselves back from achieving things because we feel like it's just this big thing and it's going to take so many hours. But if you break it down into small, manageable chunks, it's so much easier to accomplish. First thing is strategy. The second thing is your focus. It's doing one thing at a time. I don't care what anybody on here says, 32 people, I don't care what you say, multitasking is a myth. You're not doing anything right, you're just doing everything wrong, right? And whenever I'm on my phone and somebody's talking to me, I'm like, and then 5 minutes later, I'm like, wait, what did you say? Like, I can't, I just physically, mentally, like, can't focus on more than one thing at once. And some people can, and I praise you. Like, if you can multitask and do 5 things at once, like, bless you, like, teach me your ways. But it's about small chunks and setting aside time for one thing at a time. You don't have to accomplish an entire week's worth of work in 1 hour. You just have to accomplish one thing. Just one thing on your list, cross it off, and then you can move on to the next. So the second thing is your focus. Focus on that one small task that you have to get done with no distractions. That's a big thing. It's kind of like when we do power hours. We're going to do 5 minutes on this, 10 minutes on that, 15 minutes on that. It's small chunks to accomplish a bigger goal. The third thing is your commitment. Commit, do it. Get in the zone, set aside the time and do it. And I think a big thing with committing to doing something is just really being honest with yourself. I know I used to do this all the time, but I would make an excuse like, oh, I just didn't have time for it today, or, oh, this came up and that came up. But the real reason is that I just didn't commit to doing what I said I was going to do at the time that I said I was going to do it. So strategy, focus, and commit. Those are the 3 biggest things to achieving whatever goal you're trying to reach. So the must-do method. This is something, I've read this book like 3 times. And I think this is my 4th time actually reading this book. But the must-do method, there's really 5 things to the must-do method. And if you're the type of person where you feel like you have so much to do and you never have time and you're always all over the place and you're not organized, these are the things that you should really focus on. So the first thing is making a to-do list. It's like our brain dumps. Every single morning, the first thing that I do, I wake up, I chug some water, I go to the bathroom, I sit outside, and I write out a to-do list. I get it all out of my head, I get it down on a piece of paper, and I brain dump it all out. What do I have to do today? And it's not just business, it's life, like laundry. It's still on my to-do list, but it's not a priority, so it's all the way down at the bottom. Deborah, yep. So, but make a to-do list, write it down. You will never remember what you have to do unless you write it down on a piece of paper. It's like when I go to a restaurant and the waiter's taking our orders and they're like, and we're telling them, like, that person tells them their order. They're like, okay, and next? And they're like, okay. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, are you going to write this down? Like, how are you going to remember all? You have to write it down. Something's going to get missed. Second thing is prioritizing it based on urgency. This changed the game for me. I first read this book like 4 or 5 years ago. And when I started learning how to base my to-do list off of urgency, it changed everything. So urgency means it has to get done right now or something bad is going to happen. My laundry sitting in my room, nothing bad is going to happen. Maybe I can't wear that shirt for another few days. Like, what's the big deal? But last week, my passport was expiring and we're going to the Dominican and we have trips coming up. And I'm like, I need to get my passport renewed, even though it was annoying, even though I would rather work on business, even though I didn't want to go and get my picture taken. I had to do it. It was urgent. It was something that would affect something negatively in the future if I didn't get that done. So number 2 is prioritizing your list based on urgency. The third thing is taking that urgent list and saying, what must I get done today? What is my must do list? I will not go to sleep without doing X, Y, and Z. Whatever that is for you. There's so many different examples, but you have your list, you have an urgent list, and then you have a must do. These are my non-negotiables for the day. If I don't get these done, I'm in deep shit. I need to do these before I go to sleep. That is your must get done today, your must do list. The fourth thing is to do those things first. Okay? Don't paint your nails. Okay? Don't clean your room. Don't whatever you want to do around the house. Don't text your friend. Don't FaceTime this person. Don't go food shopping unless that's on your must-do list because you have zero food in your fridge and you're starving, right? But whatever is on that must-do today list, that is top priority. You do those things first. They might suck. They might be renewing your passport and going to CVS and getting their stupid picture taken and then going to the post office. Like I did that. It was the worst hour of my life. I was like, this is such a waste of time, but it was so urgent that I had to get it done. Sometimes your must-do list is not fun, but you have to get that stuff done first. And then the fifth thing is to repeat the process. And this is where the fun starts happening. So my to-do list, sometimes I put things on it on a Monday, and then it's still on there on Tuesday and on Wednesday and on Thursday and on Friday. And then Saturday, I finally get it done. It's because just because it's something that I had to get done, it wasn't urgent. It wasn't a must do. And then when I repeated the process, it still wasn't urgent and it still wasn't a must do. So I put it off and I put it off and I put it off until it became something that I had to get done. So that must-do method of your to-do list is such a simple way to tackle your list and get the things done that you have to get done. So at the end of the day, when you say, I got so much done today, you actually got so much done today. You don't look back and you're like, what did I even do? You actually got things done that had to do with like what you actually had to do, okay? So, let's see. Okay, so a big thing that I know I definitely fell back on this, and I feel like a lot of people probably do. If you are one of those people that you feel like you always just have so much stuff going on, it's recognizing what's urgent and what's not urgent. And that's just really being honest with yourself. I used to, and I still sometimes do, and I like yell at myself for it. Like I used to paint my nails before I would do something that like was a 9-1, like before I paid my bill. I'm like, but my nails look like trash. So like, I'm going to paint my nails. And a lot of people do that because it's easy and it's there. And like, it's not that big of a deal. And like, you're going to paint your nails, but recognizing what is urgent and what's not urgent and whatever is not, set it aside, put it in a complete, like take it off your to-do list, forget about it, get it out of your head and focus on what you must do. So I want to talk about money for a second. I talked about this on my story today, but this is something that really resonated with me when I learned it. Let's say that you're behind on bills, or you want to take a vacation next year, or you want to start saving for Christmas presents because it's already freaking August. I don't know how, but it's already August. Yeah. Ashley, I saw that face. It's already August. Or there's a birthday coming up and you want to get your significant other or a family friend or something nice. Strategize, focus, and commit, right? So the strategy is, what's the goal, right? Figure out what your goal is. Is it a vacation? Is it paying your bills in full? Is it saving for the holidays? Is it saving $2,000? Maybe you want to save $2,000 in the next few months, whatever that is for you. I'm just using money as an example. But the question is always, why don't I have that right now? Right? That's my goal, but like, why don't I have that right now? Why don't I have that extra $2,000 to take a vacation? Why don't I have that extra money to buy all of my Christmas presents? Why don't I have the ability to buy this big thing? Like, why do I have to budget? Is it because you're spending too much money? Is it because you just maybe don't save enough money? Is it because you don't make it? Like, why is that an issue, or why is that something that you have to strategize for in the first place? And I think that that's a really good thing to start with when it comes to your goals and making a plan for it, is why are you planning for this in the first place? Really be honest with yourself and figure that out. And then what's the goal? And I'm using money as an example, but what is the actual goal that you're trying to achieve? How much money is that vacation? Is it $1,000? Is it $3,000? Are you buying your significant other a new car? How much is the down payment? Like, what is the actual goal that you're working towards? And then you have to come up with a strategy. So let's talk money for a second. You're trying to hit a rank, let's say MMB, because I know a lot of girls on here are going for MMB. You're trying to hit MMB. Why aren't you already MMB? What are you missing, right? Why haven't you hit that yet? And don't say, because I'm brand new, because nobody wants to, no excuses. What is the real reason why you haven't hit that goal yet? What is the actual goal of MMB? What do you need? What do you have to achieve? What is that rank? How many lines, how many sales, how many, right? All of those things. And then come up with a strategy. The strategy is, what exactly do I have to do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, in order for myself to achieve that goal? What is on my priority list? What is on my back burner list? What is my must do? What are my non-negotiables? How am I creating my to-do list every day so that I can attack that goal and make sure that I hit that? Because the reason why people don't achieve their goals isn't because they can't achieve them. It's because they didn't have a solid plan that they could commit to and focus on and commit to every single day in order to achieve that. It's not the goal that was too high. It was the standards that were too low that held that person back from achieving their goal in the first place. So once you come up with that strategy of what exactly do I have to do, then you have to focus on that strategy. The biggest thing that holds people back. And I know it was for me for a long time, and it still is sometime. I lose focus all the time. I'm like, whoa, what happened this week? I'm like, holy crap, it's Friday already? Like, what even happened, right? And I'm sure a lot of people sometimes feel that way too. So focus. Did you do what you say you were going to do? Or did you do the things that were not on did you paint your nails? Did you fold your laundry? Did you go food shopping for the 17th time that week and you didn't have to go food shopping? You just wanted to get out of the house and go food shopping, right? So did you actually do the things that you said that you were going to do and commit to that to achieve the goal that you wanted to achieve? So in terms of money, because I was just talking about that, this is something so simple. And I talked about this today, but let's say that you stopped spending $25 a week. Starbucks, eating out, buying stupid shit online, doing whatever, buying things here, spending your money on stupid shit. $25 a week. I guarantee if every single person on this call looked at your bank statement, you could find $25 a week that you could cut out of your budget. Guarantee it. Getting your eyebrows done. I stopped getting my eyebrows waxed about 4 years ago. And now that I think about it, I'm like, I'm glad I do, because that's an extra $10 every 2 weeks that I was spending to get my eyebrows waxed. And then when I would go to get my eyebrows waxed, I would also get this done. And then I would get my nails done. And then all of a sudden I spent like $150 in one day because I wanted to get my eyebrows waxed. Little tiny things that you can cut out to save $25 a week. If you do that for a whole year, you just saved $1,300, right? But instead of looking at the goal of I want to save $1,300, you have to put it into small chunks. Weekly, $25. Weekly, talk to 20 new girls. Weekly, offer the business to 10 new people. Weekly, send out 5 hair quizzes. Weekly, set up 3 potential calls. Weekly, get on 1 training call, at like whatever it is, small manageable chunks that are going to get you to your end result. And those have to be your focus. That is your priority. It's your must do list. Not spending it on nail polish to do your, yeah, look at my nails, guys. Hey, it's kind of, I hate it. I hate not having my nails done. I feel like a little boy. I'm like all we went to a winery today. My parents are in town and I'm like drinking wine with my like ratchet ass nails, you know, but, I hear it all the time and I say it all the time. And I'm sure every single person on this call has said it before, where I don't have the time. When am I going to do this? And then all of a sudden it's the 20th of the month and we're so behind because we spent so much of our time doing things that didn't matter. Okay. So write out your to-do list, prioritize it based on urgency, and then take that and say, what is my must do for today? And do that first thing in the morning. I don't care if you have to wake up 30 minutes earlier. I don't care if you have to wake up an hour earlier. I wake up earlier just to write my to-do list. It takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes. What's 5 minutes less of sleep every single day to get you to your goal of whatever it, financial freedom, time freedom, whatever you're trying to achieve in this business and in life? What's 5 more minutes out of your day to set aside the time to say, this is what I have to get done and I'm going to do this today. And then you have to focus on that and you have to commit to it. And that's what holds people back. We have to-do lists and we have these power hours and we have all of these things, but it can be a lot. It can be a little overwhelming, right? It can be overwhelming posting and having conversations and doing this and doing that. But when you write it all out on a piece of paper and you say, this is what I'm focusing on today, and I'm going to commit to that, and I'm not going to sleep until I get this done, I guarantee you, if you're not MMB yet, you will be MMB in the next 3 weeks. You will be market mentor. You will have your Cadillac. You will go on the free trips. You will move up to SED in the company if you focus on what you have to focus on. It's really simple. So mental decluttering, organizing your list, having a strategy, having a plan, they're all super, super important. So that's really it. Does anybody have any questions? Or I don't really know what you would have a question on, but I definitely highly recommend this book. There is cursing in it. So, you know, it's literally called Get Your Shit Together. Sarah Knight. It's really funny. It's really good. Like I said, I've read it 3 times. It's a game changer. So I would buy this if you guys want like a good book for organizing and getting, basically like literally getting your shit together. It's a good one. So that's all I have. I hope that this was helpful for anybody that's kind of been scattered and hasn't really been able to like make a plan and focus on some stuff. But let's get after it, guys. It's the 10th. We get our bonuses in 5 days. It's mid-month. Like, we have time. We have 21 days. We have 3 weeks left in this month. So if you start today by making a plan and sticking to it and focusing on it every single day, you can be where you want to be by the end of this month. I promise you. It's really not that far away. It's really not that far-fetched. What we do is so simple. You just need to strategize it and you need to focus on it, commit to it, and then you'll be good to go. So that's all I got, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on, and everybody have a good night.